Okay, anyways. Welcome everyone to our Building Number Sense webinar. I'm thrilled to have all of you here today, eager to explore strategies for developing students' number sense and fostering a deeper understanding of numbers. I'm Jasjit Kaur, your host for this informative session. I'm excited to learn more about our fantastic and audience and where they are joining us from. So, Jyoti ma'am, I am from New Delhi. From where you are?
I'm from Vizag, madam, Vishakhapatnam.
That's great, lovely. Welcome, Antonita, sir. From where you are?
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Hel-
I'm
Hello.
from Kerala.
That's great. Superb. Okay. So our session is regarding the building number sense strategies for the deeper understanding. Before joining to the starting of the session, kindly let me know 3 questions from your end where you are facing challenges, students, or with practices. Any questions from your end?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let me share with you the challenging questions for educators to ponder during the webinar. So our first question is, how can we effectively differentiate number sense activities to meet the needs of students with varying levels of mathematical fluency and the understanding? Second is, yes,
What is
in what ways can we integrate real life applications and authentic contexts into number sense activities to deepen students' connections between mathematics and the world around them? And the third is, as educators, how can we foster a growth mindset in our students when it comes to number sense, encouraging them to embrace challenges and persist in problem solving? So, questions are in front of you. Now, please let me know how we can solve this.
can we effectively differentiate number sense activities to meet the needs of students?
Yes, any clues, any guesses? Okay. So, the solution for question 1 is we can solve it with the differentiation. To effectively differentiate number sense activities, educators can conduct thorough formative assessments to understand each student's current level of number sense and identifying areas of strengths and weaknesses. Second, group students based on their abilities, creating small groups for targeting instructions and support. Next, provide varied tasks within each activity, allowing students to engage with the concept at their own pace and depth of understanding and other extension activities. Offer the extension activities for the students who have mastered the content, challenging them to explore more complex number relationships. Now, the next question is, in what ways can we integrate real life applications and authentic context into the number sense activities? To integrate the real life applications into the number sense activities, educators can use real life scenarios such as budgeting, cooking, or planning.
Grocery store.
Yeah,
We
very
can
good.
take them grocery store.
That's superb. That's superb. So that to help the students to of the number sense in their daily lives. Any other
Yes.
question? Any other solutions from your end? That's superb, Jyoti ma'am. Anyone, any other query? Mahija ma'am, Neeta ma'am, any other query, any other solutions from your end for the question number 2? Welcome, Mahija ma'am.
Ma'am, math recipes, ma'am.
Math?
Recipes.
Yeah, that's very true. That's come in the cooking itself. That's really great, correct.
And recipes.
We can take students to on field trips for virtual
Yes, yes.
To the
experiences
supermarket.
Yes, ma'am.
that involve measuring and estimating real quantities like the dimensions of the buildings or the volumes of the containers. We can help them to explore statistics and data analysis using the real world
Yes, ma'am.
data, such as analyzing sports scores while we are asking them for they are very much interested in the cricket games and everything, so they can analyze the sports scores or weather data or economic indicators. Encouraging the students to help apply their numbers and skills to solve authentic problems faced in their communities or broader world. Now, the third question is, as educators, how can we foster a growth mindset? So, what is the solution for that?
First one is motivation, ma'am.
That's great. Superb.
Mm, Motivation, encouragement, all the same things.
Good, good.
And an educator, how can we foster a growth mindset? Can you tell apart from this?
So, to foster a growth mindset in students regarding number sense, educators can emphasize
We
the
can use
process.
different teaching techniques, ma'am.
Yeah, that's correct.
Um, yes, new strategies we can follow.
Perfect. We can emphasize the process over the outcome, praising students' efforts, that is the appreciation or encouragement, strategies, as you have already told, and perseverance in the
Math game, maths
uh,
games also.
yeah, that's true. Maths games share stories of mathematicians and scientists who faced the challenges but persistent and eventually succeeded in their work.
Yes. One more thing, ma'am, we can give a
Yes,
task to the students. How we are facing the problems while teaching, we can give a
perfect.
task to the students.
Perfect. We can normalize the mistakes as a natural part of learning process and encourage students to learn from them. Provide the constructive feedback that focuses on areas for improvement and specific steps to set the personal learning goals and celebrate their progress, no matter how small, as a stepping stone to greater achievements.
Yes.
So, by implementing these solutions and insights, as an educators, we can create a dynamic and supportive learning environment where students can develop a deeper understanding of numbers, apply their knowledge in real life situations, and embrace challenges with a growth mindset.
We
Now,
can
during
help them in the language also.
yes, very good. We can integrate the mathematics with other subjects also. So during the webinar, we kindly request you to be actively engaged by asking the questions, sharing insights, and participating in the discussions to make the most out of the learning experience. However, please refrain from sharing personal contact information or engaging in any form of disruptive behavior that may hinder the smooth flow of the session. Let's create a respectful and a collaborative environment for everyone to benefit from this webinar. Now, to make the most of the webinar, we recommend the following these instructions. Have a notepad to jot down jot down the key points, important insights, and any question that arise during the session. This will help
Yes,
you
ma'am.
stay organized and retain valuable information. Also, keep a water bottle nearby to stay hydrated throughout the webinar. And if possible, in the webinar using a laptop or a device. Okay, before we dive into the much awaited webinar, I kindly request all of you to comment and show your support by giving me permission to start and share valuable insights. Your active participation and enthusiasm will make this session more engaging and rewarding. So please take a moment to grant me permission to begin the webinar. Type PG in the chat box. Shall I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I bring to you my expertise being a founder of Maths for the Parents and Tutors, a math educator with a long-standing association with QMath since 2017. Over the years, I have accumulated a wealth of knowledge and experience in the field. Additionally, I have obtained several notable certifications, including being a master trainer at the All India Educator Forum, a Google certified educator, an Adobe Creative Educator, international certified mathematics educator, and an international certified Vedic math trainer. So, with this diverse range of qualifications, I am excited to guide you through an engaging and webinar experience. Let's begin by briefly introducing the purpose of today's webinar. Our main goal is to equip the educators and teachers with effective strategies that will help their students develop a strong foundation in number sense. We will be focusing on three aspects, that is counting skills, number relationships, and estimation abilities. Now, what is number sense? Any suggestions?
Means comfortable with numbers, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So before
We
we
are
dive,
given flexibility.
To
yes,
understand the value of numbers.
yeah, true. That's correct. Thank you, ma'am. So before we dive into the strategies, let's clarify what we mean. So number sense refers to the intuitive understanding of numbers and their relationships, its ability to work flexibly with numbers, comprehend their magnitude, and recognize their connections across mathematical concepts. Now, what is the importance of number sense is there? Building a solid number sense is a crucial process. So it serves as a foundation for the advanced mathematical thinking. A deep understanding of numbers leads to improved solving skills. A deep abstract reasoning and the ability to make the connections between different mathematical concepts. We can encourage the students to help them to go for the real life situations, scenarios, and everything. Now, strategies for developing the number sense. Let's explore them. The first aspects we will focus on is the strategies there. As we know, there's a concrete materials are there. We can use manipulatives such as base 10 blocks, number lines we all are using as a math educators in the classes. We encourage them for the games and puzzles also, and explore the visual patterns relationship in the numbers such as the Pascal's triangles, which helps the students to understand the complex concepts. So counting skills are there. The first aspects we will focus on is counting skills. It is the fundamental that lays the ground for number sense. It's more than just reciting numbers. It involves understanding one-to-one correspondence and the concept of cardinality and the ordinality. Here are some effective strategies for developing counting skills. There the counting steps are there. We can help them students to share the pictures of the staircase and ask them to count the number of the steps. Challenge the students to estimate the number of the steps needed to climb a certain height and then count to verify. Other strategy we can use is the counting with the dice also. Have the students turn the rolling dice, make it into the pairs or a group of the students, and let them challenge by asking them the questions to add the numbers on two dice together, or even we can use the other operations also. Take away the difference between the two, multiply, what's the result? Is it possible to divide the numbers on the both the dices? So there are different ways we can help the students to counting with the dice. There's another strategy is there, that is counting treasure hunt. We can help them to hide small objects around the classroom or outside. When we are in the ground, we can play the treasure hunt game in a very vast area. So help them students to discover each item they count and mark it off their list. We all know bingo cards are also a good strategy for helping the students for the counting skills. So call out the numbers randomly. Students cover the corresponding numbers on their cards until they get a bingo. Apart from that, we can have some strategies like counting games. Engage the students with fun counting games like counting coins, counting objects. Counting steps is also one of the counting games. So these games make sorry, counting enjoyable and meaningful. The next is the number lines also. We use number lines to visually represent counting sequences and help students grasp number order and magnitude. Skip counting is also another strategy. Practice skip counting by twos, fives, and tens to reinforce the patterns in the numbers. The second aspect we'll focus on is number relationships. Understanding how numbers relate to one another is a crucial skill for mathematical fluency. So we can help them to teach students to a relationship between the part and the whole is there, able to add, subtract, multiply, comparison and ordering is there. We can help them to understand the concepts of the fractions also with that. So here are some strategies to develop the number relationships. One is the number bonds. We can introduce number bonds to show the relationship between a whole number and its parts. Take the example of 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 5, make the bond of it. Concept of addition and subtraction. We can engage the students in number talks also, encourage them to explain their thought processes and strategies. In the real life scenarios also, show the students how numbers are used in real life situations such as the budgeting, measurements or time management. This helps them understand the practical relevance of numbers beyond the classrooms. Encourage the students to make the math journals to keep their observations, record of them, discoveries, reflections. This definitely promotes the metacognition and deepens their understandings. The students they really love to make the journals. My students, they are happy to make the math journals and they are really excited to share their things with the educator, with the teachers. So try to help the students, encourage them to make the math journals. Another strategy we can say is the comparative language. Teach the students to be use comparative language like greater than, less than, equal to. Comparison is there to compare the numbers. Or we can use the visual aids like the bar models, or we can discuss earlier the part hole diagrams to demonstrate the number relationships and help the students see the connections between the different quantities. The third aspect we will explore is the estimation abilities. Estimation involves making informed guesses about quantities and is a practical skill used in everyday life. We can use it as a real life examples that can enhance students of estimation skills. There's a real life scenarios are there, grocery shop, provide the real life examples like grocery shopping, container capacity, or time management, where students need to make estimations. Organize the estimation challenges in the classroom. We can give them the time management skills also to complete the tasks, even in the school or at the home also, such as the brushing the teeth, walking to the schools, or we can encourage them to think critically and justifies their estimations. Mathematical puzzles are also there. Introduce the math puzzles and riddles that require students to estimate arrive at a situation or a solution. We can help the students to estimate the age or height of their peers or the family members, or even the in at the trips we are field trips we are encouraging them to find the height of the one tree or the other to based on the visual observations. And in the nature of walk also, we help the students, encourage them to estimate the number of the birds, butterflies, or the anything we are looking into the flowers they observe in a specific area. Any queries from your end till now? Anyone? Any queries from there? And
No, ma'am, it's clear.
that's great. Super. Thank you. So visualizing the numbers and exploring the patterns, we can explore the geometric patterns such as the symmetry, tessellations. We look for the patterns in the multiples and factors. Graphical presentation is there. Use the bar graphs and other visual representations. Teach students to implement data from the graphs and the charts. We can show them the how math is related in the real world connections, how we can use math in the real world context, as we already discussed in the recipes, and that is how we can use such as a measurement in kitchen or calculating the distance on the map. Encourage students to find the connections between the math and the other subjects, that is the integration of the maths with the other subjects. Now next concept is for the classroom implementations. So we have explored the strategies till now. Now let's discuss how to implement these practices in the classroom effectively. So differentiation instruction is essential to cater to diverse needs of the students. Tailor your teaching approach to accommodate different learning styles and abilities. Hands-on activities are also there to help the students. Engage them with the hands-on activities using the manipulatives and visual aids. This helps makes the abstract concepts more enhances understanding. Encourage mathematical discourse in the classroom. Create a supportive environment where students feel comfortable discussing their ideas, strategies, and the questions. Now, there are the tips to ensure a smooth and effective integration of the number sense activities into your classrooms. As we have already know that practice makes a man perfect. So we should incorporate number sense activities regularly into your lesson plans. Consistent practice helps and reinforce the concepts and allow students to develop a deeper understanding of numbers over time. Use manipulatives as money manipulatives you can use. You can, there is a website that is Mathingun. You will explore that website. You will get hands-on practice on that tool to help the students to use the manipulatives, provide concrete representations, making the abstract concepts and more accessible. Group work collaboration is also an effective integration of the number sense into the classroom, foster the collaboration among the students by organizing group activities or the partner work. Collaborative learning allows students. The best part is the acknowledge and celebrate students' progress and the growth in the number sense. Positive reinforcement encourages them to continue exploring and developing their fluency. We all know that appreciation, praises, celebrations, they always gives the positive response. Any suggestions from your hand? Any queries? We are left with only few minutes for a meeting.
No, ma'am.
We have covered a lot of ground so far. Now it's time for your question answer sessions. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have about developing number sense. As we wrap up, let's
Before only you
recap.
are clearing all the doubts, madam said. That's why we are not having any doubts.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. So as we wrap up, let's recap the key points discussed today. Building number sense is
Yes, ma'am.
crucial for students' mathematical development, and we can achieve this through how we can achieve this. Yes, we already discussed in the webinar. Through engaging activities, differentiation, and encouraging mathematical discourse. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. Thank you all for joining our building webinar, number sense webinar. We hope you found these strategies helpful.
Yes, ma'am.
These strategies and the tips valuable for your classrooms. Remember, fostering a deep understanding of numbers will empower your students to become confident problem solvers. If you have any further questions or need additional resources, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I would be more than happy to assist you on your journey to developing strong numbers and skills in your students. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, sure, Jyoti ma'am.
Yes,
I'll share the link in the group for the certification.
yes,
You will
ma'am.
get the certificates there.
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely you will get the certificate.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, Meja ma'am. Thanks for attending the session. Once again, thank you for being a part of this webinar. Thanks, Sinta ma'am. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you in our future educational events. Please share your, I'll share the feedback form also in the group. So please share your suggestions there. Anyone from your end, any topic you want me to discuss in the for the next webinar? Thanks everyone. Bye bye for a day. See you in the next class, next session. Bye.